Today on the Morning Edition, along the Tony Knowles Coastal Trail, you may notice some construction in the next couple of weeks as a sewer main break is being repaired. We'll let you know what to expect. Plus, smoke jumper training is underway in areas of the interior. We'll show you how they're training and where so you can avoid the areas and allow them to complete their training to keep Alaskans safe this fire season. Plus, a school trip in Arizona took a little detour to rescue a dog in need of some help, turning the outing into an unexpected, teachable moment. That kindness goes a long way, and not just to humans. So we'll share that moment with you as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Still warm out there?
Yeah, we're still seeing those temperatures above freezing across South Central, really through parts of the interior as well, where we're holding on to those temperatures at or above freezing. We are at 32 degrees in Anchorage this morning, 40 in Ketchikan, and we've still got some light rain showers, if not some wintry mix that's pushing through parts of the Panhandle. That will wind down as the week draws to a close, but we're still holding on to many areas of the state where we're holding on to at least some rain and snow. Even through the interior, we do have some light areas of some wintry mix, if not some light snow showers this morning. We're at 33 degrees in Kenai, 26 in Wasilla, 33 in Talkeetna, as well as Cordova, and of course Seward coming in at 35 degrees. Now, we are going to see temperatures easily climbing back into the 40s today. We are going to be watching areas of the valley because there is that potential that highs could easily top out in the upper 40s, if not near 50 degrees. Of course, we are still holding on to many areas of South Central sitting in the low to mid 40s. We are quiet as we start off this morning. For most locations, most of that precip has shifted off towards southeastern parts of Prince William Sound and for areas south of Middleton Island. That continues to push off towards the east, out towards southeast and through parts of Wrangell, St. Elias. But today is going to provide much drier conditions and some sunshine returning in the forecast. So enjoy it, because as we welcome in our Friday, we are going to be watching that system that's building in from the west that will bring a shot for some rain and snow building into South Central as we welcome in our Friday. So there's that sunshine arriving as we head throughout the afternoon into the early evening hours. Temperatures, again, easily climbing into the low to mid 40s today for many areas. And we're going to be watching Friday for that wintry mix, and then we're going to be watching Sunday as well, as we could see another round of some wintry mix pushing through parts of South Central. So I'll have more on that, where that storm system's coming from, as well as that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
First this morning, a deep dive on a 19-year-old Shattuck woman who's been missing since January. Kelly Hunt's family, friends, and the community where she's from have been searching for answers since her disappearance. Kelly's family has emphasized from the beginning that it is highly unusual for her to stop communicating with them or disappear without saying anything, and that's what happened in this case. Several efforts to find Kelly to this point have not led to any answers. The Anchorage Police Department assigned her case to their homicide unit detectives, which is the department's policy for all missing people. They tell us detectives are actively following up on leads. Kelly's family also hired a private investigator at one point, and community members have also initiated their own search efforts. You can watch the full report on our website or streaming platforms. A sewer main break along the Tony Knowles Coastal Trail caught the attention of locals. Joe Allgood went out to take a look at the damage to find out what's being done.
For the next couple of weeks, walkers and joggers along the coastal trail at the Fish Creek estuary might notice some construction going on behind me. That's because the Anchorage Water and Wastewater Utility is fixing a sanitary sewer main break. And before you ask, no, there's not much of a smell because they've already diverted the flow of that sewer. Now, there is going to be construction in the area. They say it won't impact local neighborhoods or the water in these houses around the area. I've spoken to several locals who have confirmed that and said that it's generally not impacted them. The construction is expected until April 24th. During that time, they say that there's going to be heavy construction and equipment in the area, maybe even lighting at night. And the Anchorage Water and Wastewater Utility says they'll be monitoring public health and the impacts on the environment throughout the process. And another good reminder that it is breakup season, so it's not a good idea to walk out onto the estuary or any of the frozen water in the area. You can already see it starting to melt and break up. It is dangerous, so stay safe, folks. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
A Fairbanks jury convicted a man in the 2020 death of his roommate, but no body has ever even been recovered. 37-year-old Aaron Haig admitted to killing 61-year-old John McClelland in Fairbanks, but claimed it was in self-defense. Now, Haig was found guilty of manslaughter, second-degree theft, and tampering with physical evidence. The Department of Law says state troopers received a request to do a welfare check on McClelland after suspicious texts were sent from his phone saying he was in the hospital and needed $8,000. He's never been found. Haig was arrested in Oregon, accused of killing another man and stealing his identity. He still faces charges there. Come June, he'll be recognized as one of the most impactful Alaskans in his Hall of Fame class, an adventurer, outdoorsman, and a man that's traveled more trails than this entire newsroom combined. But for those close to Dick Griffith, he's remembered as a close friend. Tyler Lane reports.
Throughout a life where he spent much of it alone in the wild, Dick Griffith always kept a full pack.
And I just know he's changed a lot of lives.
And yet somehow always found space for more.
There was always the cold, wet, tired, hungry, and the occasional, you better keep up or I'm going to leave you.
He was affectionate, like in his own way. Like he cared about you. And plus he was funny. He liked to make us laugh.
And he said, Janice, never wait for a man or a streetcar because the next one will be along in 5 minutes.
This just some of the stories told at the Anchorage Museum and memories Griffith's friend Roman Dial continue to relive.
So I tried just to give a straight description of his life, like a bare bones, and it was hard not to weep a little bit, and because he meant a lot to me.
For those close to him, Griffith was many things. For one, a standout adventurist and pioneer.
He did really unique trips that were always way ahead of his time.
Across 98 years on this earth, Griffith traversed thousands of miles by foot, and notably, pack raft.
He showed us that the raft existed, and then we built on the raft and, put bicycles on it and started running whitewater. He was the one who pushed the rock down the hill, and the rock gained momentum, and now it's making a big splash.
Washing his way down the Grand Canyon or traversing the Northern Hemisphere from Unalakleet to Hudson Bay, Griffith's legacy is one of passion, and something we'll soon see immortalized at the Alaska Sports Hall of Fame.
He's truly a legend in Alaska and beyond, both for his Arctic exploration and being the first person to traverse the Arctic coast of North America. And he's got an amazing history, even pre-Alaska, of whitewater rafting and river explorations. This is an amazing character.
Known for his white flock of hair, a true lover of weddings.
Number 3 was in his living room in 1996.
And one of nature's biggest challengers.
I'm not a big believer in the afterlife, but if there is one, he's up there with a big grin on his face, loving every minute of it.
Tyler Lane, Alaska's news source.
Anchorage firefighters spent Wednesday morning battling a house fire in East Anchorage, but no one was hurt. Just before shift change, 911 calls came in about thick smoke rising behind True North Baptist Church on Muldoon Road. Crews got there around 8:15 a.m. and found an abandoned, boarded-up home, forcing them to fight the flames from outside. Firefighters say once they were able to get in, they came across hypodermic needles thrown across the floor. Once the ventilation improved and were able to do a thorough search, they cleared the scene just before 10 a.m. Well, wildfire season is here, and some of the first people called to the front lines are training right now in Fairbanks and North Pole. The U.S. Wildland Fire Service started training last month around Fairbanks and North Pole with parachutes popping most days between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. They'll be using locations like Burt Hill and Fort Wainwright, Chena River Lakes Flood Control Project, 2.8 Chena Hot Springs Road, and Nordale Road. Pilots are advised to steer clear of those areas during jumps, but for everyone on the ground, it's assigned crews are training now to be ready when wildfires threaten communities later on this season.
You saw guys getting back into their gear and being comfortable with that and getting it on properly. And then once they have it all on, they go through a set of buddy checks to make sure everything's all good before they step onto the aircraft.
They also go through what's called rigging, and that's making sure they're proficient in packing a parachute. For those in the Fairbanks or North Pole area, training activity will increase this month and next. Looking for a change to win big? You might be in luck. Popular YouTuber Mr. Beast is headed to the last frontier for a new challenge. Jace Bertrand shares the process to apply to be in Mr. Beast's newest video and what it could take to win it all.
One of YouTube's biggest creators is headed to the last frontier. Mr. Beast, also known as Jimmy Donaldson, and his team announced on Wednesday that they're headed to Kotzebue for their next video. Known for his reality show Beast Games, Mr. Beast first made a name for himself on YouTube, competing in challenges with his friends.
The first video I ever saw of him was him, I believe he counted to 100,000 or something like that. And that was just very entertaining to watch, just to see someone do something kind of crazy like that. You know, that video was like 40 hours long. It was pretty unbelievable for someone to do that.
Augustine McClure has never had a chance to be in a Mr. Beast video, but he says the creator inspired him to do similar challenges on his own channel.
The craziest video I think I've ever done is I ran a marathon in my room. I just ran in circles in my room for 26 miles. It took me 7 hours.
How do Kotzebue locals feel about Mr. Beast coming to visit? Well, when I called a local business and asked, their first question was, who? But for those looking for a chance at a monetary prize, the Mr. Beast team has an application process that I started myself. Along with my name and birthday, I was asked to share interesting facts about myself and what I would do if I won the prize money.
I think people are interested in people doing extraordinary things, no matter how stupid they are. So just being able to do that and being a part of it makes for great content, and it makes for a lot of views.
If you feel like you have what it takes to win it all, why not submit an application? It just might be your lucky day. Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, there are many moose wandering the streets and parking lots of Anchorage, and Fish and Game wants to remind you this time of year, moose can be very easily agitated. We'll give you their full warning and why it's dangerous this time of year next.
Today will be a nice day across South Central with some sunshine breaks, but we are watching Friday with another round of some possible rain and snow. I'll have more on that first at sunrise, 6:56 in Anchorage, 6:01 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in. 15 minutes past the hour on this Thursday morning. Aaron, it is Thursday, and we're not quite done with the snow just yet.
Yeah, we do have another chance as we welcome in our Friday. Of course, we do have some significant melting underway across a good portion of the state, more so across South Central, which means as this melting is continuing, just be mindful. If you live near culverts or any of those drainage areas across South Central, just look and make sure that there's nothing that's going to prevent any of that meltwater from escaping, because you don't want to see any of those flooding potential. We are watching Friday for that rain-snow mix for South Central, and of course above seasonal values for many areas will remain with the state. Now, one thing we are watching this morning, we do have that area of low pressure that's just to our south as you head out towards Prince William Sound. That continues to pull off towards the east. This is our next frontal system that's still out over the open waters of the Bering. That is pushing eastward, and as it does, it will push some rain and snow across the state. Now, primarily expecting mostly snow for areas of western Alaska. You can already begin to see that as you head out towards Gamble, St. Lawrence, pushing eastward through Norton Sound and the Seward Peninsula and parts of the Yukon Delta. So we will see the potential for about 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation for areas out west. And as we head throughout today and on into the evening hours, you can see that system quickly moving off towards the east, largely expecting snow for areas of western Alaska. And again, we're going to see about 1 to 3 inches of that snow accumulation. It will begin to fall apart as it sweeps in over the Alaska range, but we should see about a 2 to 4 hour time frame tomorrow afternoon where we could see a brief opportunity for some light accumulation. Most of that will fall north of Anchorage into the valley. Should we see anything across the Kenai, we'll largely hold on to more in the way of a rain, if not a rain-snow mix as we welcome in tomorrow. So we're still seeing that chance for some some wintry mix, but it's a quick moving system. You can see by Saturday, we dry out. We've got the return to some sunshine in the forecast. But then as we welcome in Sunday, we've got another round of some possible wintry mix that will build in across South Central. You can see by Sunday morning already impacting areas of Kodiak Island. So we are seeing that uptick in some of that active weather. So again, we are dry for the rest of today across most of South Central. We could see some light activity through northern parts of the Copper River Basin. That is from that system that's going to continue to bring some light accumulation through the interior. There it is as we welcome in our Friday afternoon. You can see that quick moving system bringing very light accumulation to the region. This is by no means going to bring any significant activity, just a quick dusting to about ½ an inch of snow accumulation across southern parts of the Kenai, or really as you head south of Anchorage, we're going to see more in the way of that rain-snow mix. So that is what we can expect as we welcome in our Friday. For today, it's going to be drier. We've got those temperatures warming into the 40s, potentially near 50 as you head through northern parts of the Susitna Valley. So we are going to see some of those warmer conditions continuing to remain with us. In fact, as we head through the middle of the month, you can see that surge towards warmer weather out west, while areas of the southeast actually see a slight tilt towards cooler conditions. So we're going to continue to hold on to daily highs sitting in the 40s, overnight lows flirting with that freezing mark. But there it is, Kristen. You can see Friday and Sunday really looks to be our next best chance of seeing a rain-snow mix across South Central, and then we kind of dry out into early next week.
All right, thanks, Aaron. A warning from Fish and Game today. Please give moose some space. As Lauren Maxwell tells us, they've received a handful of reports of people being charged in Anchorage.
Some days it seems like moose are everywhere, turning up in neighborhoods and even in our parking lot. But while this mama and her young one may look pretty chill, Fish and Game says more likely they're exhausted.
This is the time of year where moose are really malnourished, looking for food. They're trying to conserve as many calories as possible, which means some negative interactions with people on trails.
No one has been hurt, but Fish and Game says they've had a number of reports of charging moose on trails and bike paths in Anchorage. The Connors Bog Dog Park
still get a walk.
Moose are a constant presence to watch out for.
They're usually laying down, but we're very aware to keep the dogs away from them because we know they are kind of stressed at this time of the year.
On this day, the walk proceeds with no moose in sight until
we finally did spot a moose, and we're keeping a safe distance. You can hardly see it through the trees.
Fish and Game recommends keeping a wide berth and turning around if a moose is close, especially if it's showing signs of distress.
Their ears will go down, their hackles will come up, the hair on the back of their neck. They'll start licking their lips. Those are all signs that you are too close and you should stop and turn around and go back the way you came.
They say the situation is likely to persist until things green up and hungry moose find more food to eat. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
And another reminder from Fish and Game that calving season is right around the corner as well. Just one more reason to avoid moose and give them space if you can.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.